was December 24th, and coming out of the bar, when the pain of day of summer coming double supply. And this is The Bored Cyborg. Welcome back to yet another episode. Today I'm talking about 14 Christmas time action movies that take place during Christmas that aren't actually Christmas movies. That's right. So everybody always talks about the Christmas classics, like The Grinch and It's a Wonderful Life and Santa Claus with Tim Allen. But today, I wanted to come in here and talk about a bunch of films that are action movies that take place during Christmas time that aren't Christmas movies. Or are they? That's why I'm leaving it up to you guys. I have my ideas, and I'll go through why I think some of these are Christmas movies and others aren't, but I'm curious to know what you guys think about the movies in this list. Let me know if you watch them every Christmas, or if you think they are a Christmas movie, or absolutely aren't a Christmas movie. So feel free to leave what you think in the comments below, and also let me know what your favorite on this list is. Now, I will say this list doesn't have much rhyme or reason, but I saved my favorite for last. If you guys watch my channel, you guys know me, you probably already know what my favorite non-Christmas Christmas action movie is. So, but we'll still save that for last. Let's dig right in. First up is a movie that I am very fond of. I did get a chance to rewatch this year, about a week ago. I love this movie. Granted, a lot of it is nostalgia. I watched this movie when it came out, and I really loved it. It reminded me of Pulp Fiction. In fact, it is the young adult version of Pulp Fiction. Absolutely. It is directed by Doug Liman. Doug Liman, of course, we all know now from big movies like Edge of Tomorrow, aka Live, Die, Repeat, aka a whole bunch of other f***ing titles. He also gave us The Bourne Identity, which is a freaking classic at this point. It changed action cinema. So Doug Liman, he's been in the game for quite some time, but this was one of his earliest films. Go! It's a frenetic, drug-infused, non-linear narrative style sort of film that just never lets up. It is paced so damn well. A bunch of fun characters. We learn about each one of them in sort of a vignette, not unlike Pulp Fiction. It really does borrow the narrative style from Pulp Fiction. But this movie actually takes place during Christmas. In fact, the big rave that they're all trying to get to, it's sort of the crux of the film, is a Christmas party. It's called Merry Xmas. Like Merry, there's a whole joke in the movie, but not like Merry Christmas, like Merry. The name, Merry Xmas. And this nightclub is all psychedelic. They're not playing Christmas music per se. They're playing like 1999, year 2000 rave music, dance music, which is awesome. But it is a Christmas-themed party because the film takes place during Christmas. Also, some other funny things. The drug dealer in the film, his name is Todd, played by Timothy Olyphant. He wears a Santa Claus hat at one point while dealing drugs or while talking to one of our main characters. The car that the three our three friends kind of get around in is decked out with like Christmas decorations and Christmas lights. It's ridiculous. So this is absolutely a Christmas-themed action-style movie. This is actually the film on the list that it is an action movie, but it's more like of a crime thriller kind of thing. No, I don't know. It's an action movie, damn it. That's why it's on the list. Next up is Lethal Weapon. We all know Lethal Weapon, and yes, this takes place during Christmas. By the way, you're going to see a recurring theme here with Shane Black written movies, or directed movies. So Lethal Weapon is really, really close to being an all-out Christmas action movie because it's all about Riggs, who is alone on the verge of suicide around Christmas time. Loneliness around Christmas time is a theme that is prevalent in this movie, and it really hits home. I think him finding the Murtaugh and finding a family by the end of the film is all very Christmas-like. That makes this a Christmas action movie in and of itself. Not only do we have Christmas music and Christmas lights and themes sort of going on, but we have a drug bust. Actually, one of the first scenes in the film is a drug bust that Riggs is conducting that takes place at a Christmas tree farm. So you can't get much more Christmas time than that. I love Lethal Weapon. It is one that I try to watch every December. It's definitely one of the most Christmassy, non-Christmas action movies that takes place during Christmas. Lethal Weapon. My next up is Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. Granted, I haven't seen this movie in quite some time, but I do remember its Christmas themes, or at least it's Christmas decorations and taking place during Christmas time. This is another Shane Black movie. He loves this theme of Christmas because he has reasons for it, but I think a lot of it has to do with family and loneliness around this time of the year. So a few things I remember about this: definitely Christmas decorations and a Christmas look to the film. I remember Michelle Monaghan in a very sexy Santa outfit. She's beautiful already, so in a sexy Santa outfit, even more beautiful. And so I remember that. I remember the beginning of the film where Robert Downey Jr.'s character, who plays a thief, breaks into a toy store to find a toy for his son, and he ends up not finding it. So those two things, obviously very Christmassy. The film takes place during Christmas. I wish I could talk about it a little bit more, but it's been so long since I've seen it. I do want to rewatch it at some point soon, though. Kiss, kiss, bang, bang. All right, next up is Reindeer Games. This is a movie, another one I haven't seen in years. I mean, it's probably been close to 8 to 10 years, 8 years or so. But I do remember enjoying this movie. A lot of people hate this movie, so I'm curious to go back to it. But Reindeer Games, John Frankenheimer's last feature film. He did have a TV movie called Path to War, which came out a year later. But this is his last real feature film theater experience. I didn't see it in theaters, but the film, obviously, the name borrows from Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Joining any reindeer games. So you know the song. The title of the movie borrows from the song. Also, it takes place during Christmas time. I vaguely remember Gary Sinise in a Santa outfit robbing banks. So, yes, this is a heist film, by the way, with Ben Affleck and Gary Sinise. I also remember a Christmas dinner at some point in the film. I think it was actually the end of the movie. So there was a big Christmas dinner that took place on Christmas Day, as far as I can remember. So, Christmas attire, Christmas decorations. The film was actually supposed to be released around Christmas time. They didn't get it finished in time, and it was released in like February or something. So probably didn't do too well in the box office because of that. If you're making a Christmas-themed movie, it's probably wise to really do your best to get it out before Christmas. Just saying. Reindeer Games is definitely an action heist movie that takes place during Christmas. That isn't an actual Christmas movie. Next up, oh man, this is one of the best action movies ever made. First Blood. This is the entire Rambo set, but we're only talking about First Blood in this case. You know what's crazy? I rewatched First Blood a couple months ago in preparation for the new Rambo film, and I was like, holy shit, this is a Christmas time action movie. I had seen the film a few times before, but I never connected the dots. First of all, the town that Rambo finds himself in that harasses him, and more than just harasses him, tries to kill him, is decked out with holiday decorations. I mean, Christmas lights, Christmas decorations. The third act, it really becomes noticeable because the third act takes place at night in this town when they sort of have a siege on Rambo, and the Christmas lights are just lighting up the town, illuminating the town, really. And it's a really cool aesthetic that I never connected the dots on. It's also, I would go as far to say that the theme of Rambo alone during Christmas time, loneliness, it's similar to Lethal Weapon. The theme of loneliness and him trying to find a family. He doesn't have a family. He's trying to find friends, anybody that he could share the holiday with or that he could share a beer with or whatever. So it has those same sort of themes of loneliness at Christmas time that I think really shine through in Rambo First Blood. It's crazy that I never connected the dots like this until the last time I watched it, but that is Rambo First Blood. Alright, Iron Man 3. Now, I really don't have much to say about this one, but it does take place during Christmas. It has some, as far as I can remember, some themes of loneliness, which is a recurring theme here in this video, but it takes place during Christmas time, and guess what? It's a Shane Black film. That's right, he wrote and directed Iron Man 3, which makes sense as to why it takes place during Christmas. But I do remember Christmas decorations and those themes of loneliness. That's really all I remember about the film because I wasn't too impressed. So, Iron Man 3. It is a Christmas time action movie. This is an interesting one that I never had really thought about up until I was compiling this list. But Rocky 4. So another Sly film on the list. Rocky 4... Stay. Rocky 4 is a Christmas time action drama movie. The entire film is basically a training montage, which I'm completely okay with. Rockin' 80s soundtrack. I love Rocky 4, by the way. It's my second favorite Rocky, right behind Rocky 1. I know I'm in the minority. I just love the machismo. It's the closest thing to an 80s action movie that we got out of the Rocky series. But anyway, I'm going off on a tangent. Dolph Lundgren is in this film, obviously, as Ivan Drago. Ivan Drago, the Russian boxer. Now, what makes this a Christmas time action film is, yeah, Rocky trains in Russia where it's all snowy, so that snow, Christmas, there's a correlation there, obviously. But the big fight, the big Drago versus Balboa fight, takes place on Christmas Day. That's right, it takes place on Christmas Day. So this is absolutely a movie you could watch around Christmas time, and it'll help get you in the spirit. Rocky 4 is a Christmas time action drama. Who knew? Well, probably a bunch of you. That rhymed. Next up is another Frankenheimer film. Wow, when I'm talking about these movies, we got 2 Frankenheimer films. We got like 5 Shane Black films. So these directors just sort of like this time of the year, I suppose. Ronin obviously deals with loneliness. Again, these lost criminals that don't really have a squad, a crew, a mafia, a gang. They're just Ronin. Similar themes of loneliness going on there. That might be a bit of a stretch, but it does take place during Christmas time. And forgive me, I don't remember many Christmas decorations. There has to be some in the film, but I don't distinctly remember any. But I do remember a line where Vincent, I believe Jean Reno's character, asks Sam, Robert De Niro's character, what he wants for Christmas, and Sam says, my 2 front teeth. Little Christmas joke in there. But yeah, Ronin takes place during Christmas time. Another Christmas heist action film that isn't a Christmas movie. Ronin, heist movie. Reindeer Games, heist movie. Christmas time. John Frankenheimer had something going on there. Oh, yeah. Batman Returns. Man, this is so Christmassy. It's not even funny. Everything about this movie from beginning to end. Gotham is covered in snow, in Christmas lights. There's a Christmas tree lighting sequence that takes place in this movie. It's a big sequence too. It's an action sequence. What really is interesting about this, as I was thinking about it, a lot of these films that I'm talking about and a lot of great Christmas movies have a wonderful redemption story. You know, it's about being redeemed. It's about having another chance, having another go at this thing called life. In Batman Returns, none of the characters really find that salvation. None of the characters are really redeemed by the end of the movie. Catwoman isn't, Max Schreck surely isn't, Penguin isn't, and Batman really isn't either. So it's kind of an anti-Christmas, non-Christmas action movie that takes place during Christmas. I'm running out of ways to contrive that. But yeah, really interesting sort of way to look at the movie is it's a very grim film. There aren't any happy endings. But it is a Christmas time movie, and I think Tim Burton did that on purpose because he's a dark son of a bitch, like me. So I apologize for this extremely hard cut in the middle of the video, but I had to talk about 2 films that I completely forgot to talk about. The first one is Shazam. Shazam is the newest film on this list, and it takes place during Christmas. The majority of it takes place at night, so a lot of the Christmas decorations and lights really illuminate the scenes, not unlike First Blood. And in fact, there's a whole sequence in the 3rd act where they make their way through some sort of Christmas like carnival or circus or something. I don't exactly know, but there are a bunch of Christmas lights and decorations. But what really makes this one very Christmassy, and I know David Sanborn chose to set it during Christmas for a specific reason, it's all about Billy Batson finding his family, his true family. He's on a quest to find his mother. I'm not going to get into what happens with that, but it is a film about finding your family and finding yourself. And it deals with loneliness, not unlike a lot of the films on this list. The next film is actually a James Bond movie, and it's on Her Majesty's Secret Service. that actually takes place during Christmas time. Now, I haven't seen the film in over a decade, so I don't remember the details. I know it takes place during Christmas. I know it has some great sequences that take place on like a ski lodge or whatever they call it, where people ski. And it also was released around Christmas time in 1969. So, had to mention those two because I wanted this to be a comprehensive list of almost basically all of the Christmas time action movies. So, hard cut back. Alright, next up is one of my favorite action movies from the 90s. Such a kick-ass film. Long Kiss Goodnight. Mwah! Long Kiss Goodnight. Written by, guess who?
Shane Black?
That's right, Shane Black. Not directed by Shane Black, directed by Rennie Harlin. Goddamn, this movie's amazing, right? I could talk about the movie for 20 minutes, but what I'll say about it is it obviously takes place during Christmas time. Gina Davis plays two characters, Samantha and Charlie Baltimore, her alter ego. And in the very beginning, one of the impetus to get her to revert back to her older self is when she gets in a car accident, and she ends up snapping a reindeer's neck. Or at least a deer. I mean, a caribou, reindeer, deer. Snaps the deer's neck to put it out of its misery once they hit it. Which is a really brutal way to talk about a Christmas action sequence, action movie sort of thing. But it's true. That's what happens, and I think Shane Black did that for a reason. She also attends a Christmas parade before she remembers who she used to be. So she attends a Christmas parade, which enables one of the bad guys to see her and hunt her down. So you see it all sort of connects, as of course Shane Black knows what he's doing when it comes to writing. This one also has themes of finding yourself and finding your family in the end of the day, because she's wrestling between her two personalities that are both fighting for dominance. So it has those themes, of course. Christmas decorations. I believe there's a scene where she's baking Christmas cookies. So Christmas time action movie, no doubt about it. Shane Black, this is my favorite. No, Lethal Weapon's my favorite Shane Black movie on this list, I gotta admit. But this one's very, very, very close. Long Kiss Goodnight. Alright! You guys know me. You know one of my favorite films of all time is Die Hard. Die Hard 1 and 2. So I'll talk about 2 a little bit first. 2, obviously, doesn't try to fix what isn't broken. And so they set it during Christmas the following year or a couple years down the road or whatever. This time, John is in Washington, D.C. It's snowing. Christmas music's playing. Al makes an appearance, which brings it all back to the first film. So, obviously, a Christmas time action movie. But Die Hard from 1988, one of the greatest films of all time and one of the greatest action films of all time, is the quintessential Christmas time action movie that isn't actually a Christmas movie. But it is a Christmas movie, damn it. This is the most Christmassy movie of all on this list. Sleigh bells all throughout the score. The score is brilliant. I love it. I'm very inspired by the score. Sleigh bells. You can't really onomatopoeia sleigh bells. It takes place on Christmas Eve, of course. In the first 10 minutes, we have Argyle playing some Run DMC. It was December 27th, that song, Run DMC, I don't know the lyrics. It was December 24th, something like that. And he's attending a Christmas party at Nakatomi Plaza to visit his wife. Christmassy as hell. So he attends this Christmas party. They have Christmas decorations everywhere, Christmas music playing, a Christmas tree all lit up for the season. It's so Christmassy. Also, the film ends with Let It Snow. Come on, man. Let It Snow, which is brilliant, by the way, because Han's falling, the other body falling, Let It Snow. Brilliance. Brilliant usage of that song. But what really brings this one all home for me, and I watch it literally 3 or 4 times every December, every Christmas time, is that the film just gives me a warm feeling. It has a warm aesthetic. It's never cold feeling. What I mean is the color temperature is warm. And I think that was, again, on purpose. And also, it gives me that warm, Christmassy feeling. I know it's very subjective. I know it's nostalgia. But it just has that warm vibe to it. It's so inviting, despite its brutal action and violence. It's so inviting, and it just makes me feel like it's Christmas again. Like I'm just relaxing as a child, watching Christmas movies. It just sinks me into that, and I adore this movie for that. And for so many other things it does incredibly well. Of course, it follows John trying to get home to his family, which at the end of the film, we presume that he's going home with his family to spend Christmas Eve with them. So it is really, it plays on those ideas of getting back together with your family. Obviously, him and his wife are going through some marriage issues. And yeah, it has those themes of family and finding your family again during Christmas time. And of course, lastly, how can you not mention ho ho ho, now I have a machine gun with the Christmas hat on him? That is just one of the greatest scenes in the movie, obviously. I even have a sweater that kind of plays on that idea. Ho ho ho, now I have a machine gun. So that's really the last thing I'm going to mention about Die Hard. I could talk about it for hours. You know that. I have probably talked about it for hours at this point. But that is my favorite Christmas time action movie that isn't really a Christmas movie, but it, it's a Christmas movie. Die Hard. I just want to thank you all for checking out my odd list of 14 Christmas time action movies that may or may not be Christmas movies, and that's why I wanted to do this, to leave it up to you guys, and so we could have a discussion about whether or not these movies are Christmas movies. I've justified them all the best way that I can. There are definitely some that are more so Christmas movies than others, but I'd love to know what you guys think, so feel free to leave your comments down below and we could get a little discussion rolling as usual. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to give it a thumbs up, and if you're new to the channel and want to see more videos like it, go ahead and hit the subscribe button as well as the little bell for notifications. Anyway guys, I will see you next time. Happy holidays. Bored Cyborg out. Ho ho ho, motherfuckers!